So I'm John Highguy, Whiskey 4 Foxtrot Sierra Oscar, W4 FSO. And sadly, no, I'm not going to describe everything here. I have no idea what a lot of these things are. But first up is Mike Imony, Whiskey Alpha 8, Alpha Hotel Zulu, who's going to do a little presentation on something called Honey, Who Blew Up the Map?
Hold on, drum roll. So, how many times have you looked at PSK Reporter and wondered why you can't work Korea, but you can work Japan all the time? Ever wondered that question? Well, as you know, my typical thing I do for these events is I find a new piece of ham radio software. And this time I'm bringing back an old friend, but I'm going to start with this is the typical picture I see when I go to PSK Reporter. In this particular case, Europe is open, but the Pacific is closed. But I'm interested in what I can do across the upper part of the United States and in the other side of the globe. So I decided to take a look at a new picture. Now, this is the honey who blew up the map. The map, did you know the world is a globe and not a flat projection? And so, in this particular picture, I can show you that I'm working all kinds of Japan to the north and South America to the south. This happened to be on the November 25th of this year, about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. What's that green thing up there and what's that black thing? I got confused. I had to go get a book and figure out what that stuff was. What do you think the black thing is? Duh. That's where Santa's going to come from, right? That's the North Pole. And what's that green thing? The Aurora Oval. This particular case, the Aurora Oval is kind of better, if you will, more filled out on the right-hand side. And I'm going to point out some things as we go through this. So I started playing around with this tool, trying to figure out some things. Why can I get to Japan all the time, but I can't get over to the right further? And I think I know the reason why. So I did finally work a Korean station. Thank you very much. But I didn't work it on this particular day. But this was at 4 o'clock in the morning, a couple days later. And notice where the oval of the aurora is. If you're bouncing your signal through the northern poles, it gets gobbled up and it doesn't get to Korea. It'll probably get to Japan, like on that day, but even Japan was not open on that day. I'm of the conclusion, with a little bit of science I've done, that if you blow the map up and look at it as a globe, and you set your projection up from looking at your particular location, things that normally were crooked are straight. And any airplane pilot or Navy navigator will know that type of stuff, but I sure didn't. One last couple slides more. Notice the oval kind of changes. Now the predominance is on the over the eastern part of the United States. Well, if you will, it'll always be predominant on the other side of where daylight is. So what time is 4 o'clock local? Well, it's about what, 4 plus 5? It's 9 o'clock UTC time. It's beginning of the morning in Europe. Okay, opposite of Europe that's where the oval is. Go back a day at 1300 local. The sunlight is in the United States. The opposite is on the top part of the top part anyway. Okay, one last slide, and then I'll be done with this. So I started looking at my roughly whatever number, 20,000, 30,000 contacts I have, and I started normalizing contacts because I was still trying to answer this question, why can't I get to places other than Japan? And what I found out is the probability of finding a Scandinavian or a northern tier, say Russia or Japan station, is much less when the Aurora Oval is stronger. A K of 3 is going to tell you that you have a stronger oval. That's my science for the day, and that's my tool of the day. And I'll see you next year with another tool.